Since this is the last week of 2025, I thought that I would share one of the most important lessons that I learned this year. Something that I realized, actually, something that I always knew, but I was just unable to implement it in my daily life. And this thing is really important. No matter what you do, no matter what your goal is, it does not matter because this thing is really important. Assalamu alaikum everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name's Sada and I help people get into their self-love, self-development journey through sharing my writings, my experiences and everything in between. So let's get started. So what I want to talk about today is basically along the lines of stay connected to the source. If I have to sum up this video, this is how I would. Stay connected to the source, which means stay connected to God. I know my usual videos are about the self, how to overcome things, challenges and everything. But as I said earlier, my goal is to help people with everything that has benefited me. And this is one of the most important ones. So a lot of times when we are in a trouble or we are facing a very difficult situation, maybe it's financially, maybe it's a personal problem, maybe it's regarding your relationships, whatever that problem is. In my opinion, what happens is that we get too caught up in the situation and we kind of forget that God is the source of literally everything. So for example, if you're facing a financial issue, our usual response is trying to apply for a job, trying to exhaust all the sources that we have so that we can find a path that will help us. Most important thing that I would not say completely forget. We know that God is the source of everything. But when it comes to applying that in a daily life, we don't think too much about it. I think we get too caught up in whatever situation is in front of us and we don't realize that this problem will eventually get solved. Something that I struggled with a lot. I used to drown in worry and regret and guilt with every problem that came my way. Case of like financial situations, when we don't get a job or like we're unable to find a source of income, we worry too much about it. I'm not saying it's not a serious issue. Obviously, it is a serious problem. But we worry so much that we tend to think that if we don't get a job or that particular thing that we want, we will not get anything and that our problem is not gonna get solved. So we usually think that that job or that source of income that we want is the source of money or is the source of prosperity. But the truth is, that job is just a way through which we will achieve those things. In reality, God is the source of all the money and everything you basically want. And I know it is such a small thing, especially as Muslims, we always know this, we are always taught this and we firmly believe in this. But still, when it comes to application in our daily lives, we get too caught up and these things kind of slip. So realizing that literally anything you want, if it has to come to you, it will come to you. It might not come to you in a way that you want it to or in a way that you think it would, but eventually it will come. And just knowing and realizing that everything that you want will come from a source that is unlimited from God, that is the time when your mind will actually be at rest. Apart from that, if you don't firmly believe in this, if you don't apply this thing in your daily life, in everything that you do, I think you're going to be constantly worried about everything. Don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to not make efforts towards everything that you want. My channel is all about growing and becoming better and working towards your goal. What I'm saying is that you need to make efforts and you need to do all the hard work that you can. Try everything that you can, but trusting that whatever be the outcome, it will always be in your favor, even if it is not something that you wanted, or even if something went wrong according to you. That's the thing about trusting God and like having faith and knowing that He is the source of everything that you want. You must accept and believe in it that everything that happens, whether it seems like things are not going your way, they are still working in your favor and they are still taking you to a better place. Also, it has been a personal experience that any kind of fulfillment cannot be achieved until and unless you're connected to God. If you're not connected and you get literally everything that you want, all the money in the world, all the fame or whatever it is that you want, you will still not feel fulfilled because you're not connected to the one who is blessing you with all those things. And on the other hand, even if sometimes you don't have what you actually want, you're still in the process of going where you want to go, but you still are connected to Him, fulfillment that comes with it cannot be described. I kid you not, it cannot be described. Like no matter how much I sit here and explain it to you, you have to experience it yourself. And when I say stay connected to God, it's not just about praying your 5 daily prayers or like making a lot of dua or reading the Quran. It's about being mindful of Him in everything that you do. Like even in the smallest task. And you need to do all those things. But apart from that, everything that you do, you need to be mindful that God is watching. So I'll give you a little example. When you're getting groceries and you come back home and you're filling all the containers back up with the food that you got, That is the time when you have to be like, oh, God bless me with this food. Thank you. And I know it's going to sound so cliche to a lot of people, but this is the reality. It's not about just thanking him when you have the big things and when you get everything that you ever wanted. It's about the small experiences that you get daily. Another example can be if you're living in a really nice place and you have a house that has a nice view, at least you like it. That is the moment when you have to be like, God bless me with this house, so I got to see this amazing view. Really so small things, but because we get too caught up in everything that surrounds us, don't really think too much about this stuff. This is what I meant by being mindful. Just knowing that everything that you have and everything that you're doing is because God has blessed you with the things that you needed. Second thing is trusting that you are going to get what you want. Maybe not now, but everything that you've asked for will be provided in one way or another. So you know that time when we want something so badly, like so badly that we just beg God and we just make so much of dua and we're like, please God, give me this thing. I really want this, and that thing does not happen. Sometimes we lose trust and we're like, why is my prayer not getting answered? The thing that I learned, and I would say that I learned it the hard way, is that the time you are in right now might not be good for the things that you have asked for yourself. Even though I knew this, I like believed it, still in my heart I was like, I really want this thing, I really want this particular thing. I've actually overcome that phase, and now that I actually understand that things are happening in my favor, whether I feel that they are good for me or they're bad for me, but everything is working out for me and things are happening for me, not against me. That is the time when I actually relax. I know it's not easy when you're facing a really difficult situation, but losing trust in him will not give you a solution. It will only make your problem worse. So trust that he is never going to fail you, even if things might seem that they're not working or you don't know what's happening around you, you don't know where you're going, but you're doing your best and staying on the right path. I think eventually you will be happy and you will get everything that you want in whatever form that may be. Before I finish this video, I would like to say that there are still so many things that I struggle with and still so many things that I have to learn. But as soon as I understand something or I realize that it will be benefiting for other people as well, I will be sharing it here. That is it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something from it. And I hope that you can start applying these things in your daily life from today onward. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, stay safe.